you guys, it's me, Nurse Nina. I'm also known as the AI Nurse Consultant. Today we are at Nina Nurses After Dark. So after class, we like to have a little session if we have somebody that's wanting to come on and talk and share anything with you guys. Today we have the amazing Xzavion Stevenson present today. He's amazing, doing great positive work in the community. Xzavion has a long history of making music, bringing the crowds in, and today he's going to share with you guys his two new songs called Grounded and also Proceed with Caution and Shine.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Grounded is available too, but you guys can pick those up, listen to those if you want. It's on all platforms, also on YouTube Music. Amazing videos that capture you to that music. I've been watching it over and over again. It's amazing. You guys check that out. So Xzavion is here today to just share some of his background. And happy Black History Month, you guys. Black History Month.
Happy Black History Month.
Xzavion started out as a certified nurse assistant when he was, I think, 17 years old in high school. He became a CNA, started working into some nursing homes, and then he went to go work at the hospital when he turned, I think, 18 or 19. 19. So he started working in the hospital. Did that for 6 years while he was in school, going to college. He went to Sacramento State University, Stingers up. He got his bachelor's degree in communication, and from there he decided that he wanted to do a little bit more. He loved the medical field. He wanted to get into sales. So he went back to school. Shout out to Anthony O'Neill, who told us all about the program. But yeah, he went to that program and became
It was Cyrus. Cyrus. On Anthony O'Neill podcast.
Anthony O'Neill too, yeah.
You know Anthony O'Neill for sure, because that was his platform, but Osiris was the one who told how I got to understand how tech sales was and these tech boot camps and all that type of stuff. So I think they were talking about course careers and the different ones out there. Off the top of my head, I kind of forget, but from did my own digging, I ended up finding another school called Springboard, and they offer like sales engineers, UX and UI design. And tech sales was ultimately the one that I settled down on and, felt most drawn to.
Okay. So we'll have you elaborate more on that. So Xzavion went from CNA, got his degree in communication, and now he's in tech sales medical sales, right? Where he sells medical supplies, devices, things that we still use at the hospital that Xzavion knows so much about, right? From being in the hospital for so many years. Any medical products that you see in a hospital, Xzavion has his hands on it. He's going out to the facilities, hospitals, speaking to managers, people in finance, people that make these decisions, right? To who's going to purchase which product, how much they need, and stuff like that. So that's now what Xzavion's new job is. So Xzavion, we're going to start. I'm going to have you just explain your transition from CNA to consultant.
Okay. So it was definitely a journey. I'm sure y'all know, I was talking to everybody in my family, well, not everybody per se, but talking to a lot of people in my life, former coworkers who I was pretty close with, and prayed about it a lot and try to get some wisdom and all that from God. I'm really just trying to understand what God was calling me to do. I loved CNA work, and working with the patients and all of that good stuff, and being able to bring and add something that was valuable to them. Always try to be like a light for them. In those situations where you see people almost at like some of their lowest times in their life. And in most cases, people have patients that don't really have family members that support them. You guys kind of look at it as opportunity to go in there and be able to support them, and give them love. And in most cases, like, they might not be getting that same love anywhere else. So I kind of look at that as an opportunity for God to work through me to be able to, help the patients out. And that was something that always lifted my spirits up, even when I was going into work, kind of, feeling a little low for whatever I was going through at the time, or just being human, having different emotions or whatever, going and being able to work directly with that patient care and working with other coworkers who, for the most times, I like to work with, I had I've been doing it for over 8 years at that point, totally.
Okay.
So, I had got a lot of...
8 years, a long time.
Yeah, it is. ultimately it was time to elevate and move forward.
Okay.
You know, shout out to all the CNAs who've been doing CNA for 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, because that's like the foundation of the trade and the profession. You know, so we appreciate you all, and we thank you for your service all these years too, and thank you for all the ones who got to pour into the young lads, and you know, coming into the game, and you know, teaching us how it all works and how we find our flow. But yeah, you know, it was time for me to move forward, and I'm
just ready to move on.
Yeah, and
do something different.
All that, you know. So, you know, fortunately, you know, it's coming from a place where you be in a hospital all day. You know, there's sometimes not even going outside for your break. So you be in the hospital all day. You come in, it's sun up, you leave, it's dark. You know. But now I'm in a situation where, you know, I am still in the hospitals, but I have a lot of different, you know, environments that I can be in. You know, even though a lot of times I'll be on the road too, traveling to different hospitals. But just I appreciate the changes. You know, I do miss, you know, the direct patient care.
Yeah.
I try to do like a little mind hack to think that I'm helping the patients in indirect ways, even though I don't get to see them like that anymore. But yeah, it was a good transition.
I love it. Xzavion does a lot of traveling, which I love to travel. He travels a lot around different places in the States. Have you been international yet, traveling with your job?
Nah, not yet.
Okay, it's coming, right? So yeah, speaking on your duration of CNA, I was a CNA also. I think I was a CNA for about 10 years, if not more. I was a CNA for a long time before I used the Method 3 process to challenge the LVN board, and also did an LVN program. And then I went to do a RN program, later became a nurse. So during your time being in the entry before you became a CNA, what kind of motivated you or inspired you to go into healthcare?
Yeah, so, you know, I seen my mom work, you know, all her whole life, you know, that I've been alive to, you know, work chasing her dream and, you know, to become a nurse and, you know, even, you know, all that. So just kind of like just looking at it from a bird's eye view. Remember when I would be in her classes, you know, taking community college classes, you know, and I'd be in the back of the class playing my game, but you know, she always, just seeing how she would always, you know, work and chase her dream and doing the CNA, you know, I was trying to figure out which path I should go as we all young guys, you know, graduating high school, trying to figure it out. You know, of course, we got different ways, friends who, you know, is hustling or just whatever they're doing, you know, or even like playing sports and, you know, dreams of being, you know, artists or just whatever, all of the different options, even the military, you know, just trying to analyze what my options were that I wanted to kind of build a life on. And, you know, I seen how my mom was able to, you know, help take care of me and my siblings, you know, being a CNA. And I'm like, if she can do that as a CNA and take care of all us, I don't got no kids right now. Yeah. So I'm like, hey, I can do that and build a life for myself. Yeah. And that was just something as an entry point for me to take that and just try to build on it with goals of being into the hospital and, you know, just having good parents that to invest in us and encourage us to do better, and, you know, trying to do my best to listen to that.
Okay, I love that. And for you guys to know also, CNAs make good wages. It really do depend on where you live. We're very fortunate to live in California. We live in Northern California, which is different from Southern California. Some people think it's all the same, but it's a big difference. I don't know why. But Northern California do pay very well for healthcare, especially nurses, but also CNAs here. And where we live in Northern California, you can make up to $40, $50 an hour as a CNA in the hospital. Some facilities pay well too, and the nursing registries. I know it's not like that everywhere, but in Northern California, you do make a very decent wage, and if you work overtime, it can be even more lucrative, right? But speaking on that, so as a CNA, you got all this experience. How does that help you as being a consultant now, transition into health sales?
I think it helps out a lot just because, you know the jargon, you know, some of the lingo, you know, the situation that these nurses are in, you know, and like emergency situations, traumatic situations where you have to think critically and think fast. And, you know, someone's safety is literally in your hands. experience, you know, for a lot of amount of time, and every decision and everything counts, you know, and also just kind of being able to place myself in their shoes. You know, I definitely realized that the significance in that, because some of my counterparts that they don't really have that same experience. So I can, like when I'm working with them, I can always recognize the gap, and kind of just, you know, that's been like my unique contribution to my team, is being able to have that from the experience that I have.
Nice.
You know, because like even certain situations, you know, we're dealing with sales, and you know, it's a thing called objections. You know, where someone is, you have a proposition or something for a customer, but they might have to push back, whether if it's whatever reason that they're kind of being standoffish. I was in a situation one time where we had faced an objection with an ice bag, you know, that we were trying to showcase to a group of nurses, and they were just joking about, oh yeah, we know how to do an ice bag, you know, that's simple, but you know, and so, but in that situation, we actually were able to teach them, you know, something that they didn't know, but it was just because of my comfortability being in that situation, working in the ICU. I can kind of, you know, not take offense to what they're joking at, but just kind of be more empathetic and understanding where that was coming at, and acknowledge, you know, well, you didn't, you know, see this, but so here you go. And like I was able to turn, you know, a potentially negative situation into a positive situation for all of us, just from you know, my knowledge of, and my experience and my field connection to where they were at. So
CNAs, you guys, that's my job as an educator. I really pull out everything, all the experience that you have, and I show you how much knowledge you have, because people don't realize how much knowledge and experience they truly have. And look at Xzavion, taking all the experience and education, combined it together, right? And it made you an amazing sales team in the healthcare industry. Like, that's truly amazing.
We trying.
Yeah, y'all doing good. So with your transition, what words would you give to advice for CNAs that may be thinking they want to try an alternative path? They want to get out of CNA, they don't want to be a nurse, they may be thinking about sales but not sure. What kind of words of encouragement would you give them, or words of advice if it was a CNA thinking about going into health sales, kind of like something what you're doing?
To go into something what I'm doing, I would say, before we get into that, I would just say, do what you really want to do. Explore what you like. You know, of sales, because you know, a lot of people are saying like, you're gonna leave this job to go to sales. You're gonna do sales, and like a lot of people are intimidated by sales, which I get that. I never really thought about doing sales for real either, because you know, it is so much on that can be on the line if you're not really performing and all that type of stuff. So I would say just try really what you want to go, if you want to, because there's so many different ways in nursing to pursue it. So yeah, I would kind of say do your own homework, just the same way as I was on YouTube, kind of trying to get an understanding of what was out there outside of, you know, just nursing or other things like that. Directly bedside care nursing, I would say do your homework and try to explore that, what that looks like for you. And you know, like me, I like to communicate. You know, I like to connect with people.
Okay.
So when I, you know, something that's kind of assessing my own skill set and my own ideas and the things that I kind of envision for my future, sales kind of was God naturally in the mix. In addition to, you know, the financial goals too, of course. But that was kind of like what I felt most called to, even with the risks that was associated with it. And you know, even talking to some other people who weren't necessarily looking at from a job security point of view, they're always saying like, "Oh yeah, I can see you doing that. That makes a lot of sense. You would do that." So wherever that fits in with you, you know, whether if it's sales or even manufacturing some devices for nurses, that would be help nurses, or even on the administrative side, if you want to go into the side and you like working with numbers and you like helping people directly, the HR side, that's big too. So I'll just say, you know, assess your own skill set and what it is you want to do, and just kind of go for it. Just kind of see what's out there and just start trying to take those extra classes or whatever is necessary. You know, for me, it was I had some sales experience, but I didn't have a whole bunch of huge sales experience. that is necessary and needed to get the job in this industry. But so I kind of took on that other tech sales course to be able to connect it to my clinical experience, so I can try to let people know that I can have a shot at being successful in the medical sales world.
Nice. So you took your experience as a CNA, went to school and got your degree. Even though you had your degree in communication, bachelor's degree from Sac State, you was like, I want to take it a little bit further. So you did a little bit more extensive training, took some extra classes, and that landed you where you are today. I'm so proud of you. You are so successful. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So with this being Black History Month, I have to throw that in. I got just a couple questions, okay? So I know Black men are unrepresented in both CNA, healthcare roles, right? And also sales, especially health medical sales, right? What does this mean to you to be in this position?
It means a lot. It means a lot. I just came from an event not too long ago, and it was a reminder that what you just shared is a fact, and it's not a whole bunch of us in the industries. So much so that even it was being there, it was a connection of of some other Black men who were there, and Black women as well that were there, that we kind of always had a special acknowledgement amongst each other, and we kind of was able to connect a little bit further and while we were there and stuff like that, because that's a reality that we deal with and that we're living in. But it's a blessing, and it's a reminder, because sometimes when we're striving to become better, it's a little bit hard to really take in all you already have accomplished and what you have to be grateful for. So when I'm talking to some of my cousins, or I'm talking to some of my other friends that maybe are in a different circumstances, it kind of reminds me of how blessed I am, and and just a motivator for me to go harder and for me to be successful, because my life isn't just affecting me. I'm actually inspiring a lot of other people too.
Yes.
And I'm doing well. So that's something that I get to remind myself, or have to try to remind myself on, and just makes me think about, so much so, as a Black man, as trying to win in life and winning. So
I love it.
Yeah. And taking losses too, but that's just a part of the game. We just trying to learn from it and keep going.
What do you think needs to change in healthcare sales to make it more inclusive for Black professionals?
I would say, I guess the awareness, bringing more awareness about the industry itself.
Okay.
I didn't even know it was a thing until I started just looking for it. I started digging. I'm like, somebody got to be selling this stuff. So I'm like, let me just start see, what it was in me trying to figure out what my next step was outside of, or and transitioning from a CNA to to like the business aspect of healthcare, just trying to explore what that would look like. And I've finding a whole bunch of different jobs, like health educator, wellness therapist, and just all this other different stuff that exists, these other categories in healthcare. But then I stumbled across medical sales, of course, doing my self-assessment.
Okay.
But prior to that, I didn't really even know it existed. But it is a very lucrative industry if you've proven yourself to be successful, and you find a good space with a good company. But again, it's not necessarily one of those most popular or broadcast, profession that most people know about. So I think just having more, Black men succeed in those roles, and having more opportunities be created for them, and even like training programs in schools about sales, and not just disassociating the traditional views of what sales that can make people feel icky or whatever. Used car sales type analogy. Shout out to the dude who just helped me buy my, or no, he didn't help me buy my car, but I just went and bought a car recently. Shout out to him, because and you gotta negotiate too. Just have just a little personal note real quick about something I learned is that you have everything we have. You have to negotiate for. So
yes,
yeah. So
I'm big on that.
absolutely. So yeah, I would just say that having more public success about it and just broadcasting more resources and opportunities about medical sales and other jobs, where it can be more diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Okay.
Especially with us on the rise right now, where that's kind of in question right now.
I love that. I like how you talked about opportunities, that there need to be more opportunities. Maybe this is something, a program we could bring into the schools or into like a healthcare tech school program or something. And that's something I'm big on here at Nina Nurses, is creating opportunities for people. So we bring a lot of training and information and opportunities and jobs to our students and nurses that they may not even never know existed, like private duty nursing positions that I have opportunity to share with other people, clinical research nurses that I used to do, and I help other people get into that field. We also do a lot with all kind of different stuff. Oh my God, the AI nursing program. We go into public health stuff. We do a lot of stuff here at Need Nurses that is not traditional in other schools. So my goal is to, like you said, create opportunities, share the information that I do have with other people, and create opportunities for them. And I hope that they share with other people and try to bring as many people as they can on board into those specialized fields. Okay? All right, Xzavion, let's see. What has been the most rewarding part of transitioning from bedside to the business side of healthcare?
I'll say I've always been entrepreneurial minded and have desire for entrepreneurship and business ownership, and it's my dream of being a professional in life. So I think just being able to cross over and see how the business aspect of healthcare is working, at least from a supply product, perspective and distribution perspective. It just kind of gives me that understanding of how business works, and just help elevate my business acumen and recognizing trends in the industry and all that type of stuff. So, even if clinically I wanted to become a nurse or something like that, or in the future, kind of I could be able to, again, leverage both sides of it to, help the world, and also, be able to make some money somehow. So, yeah, I would say that.
Okay. So right now we know you do music, super involved in the community, like I said, involved in a program called Healing Heals, where Xzavion goes out to the community with his brother Yakari, and they bring their music, they bring their experience, and they actually teach kids how to write music, how to play music, how to make music. It's just amazing. I love this program. They're currently serving the elementary schools in the Sacramento area. They do Elk Grove. You guys do Rancho also. I think it's amazing. Amazing what you guys are in the community. How do you use your platform to bring awareness to all the things that you're doing and just other people that may be interested? How do you use your platform to do that?
I try to do better at posting this stuff. A lot of stuff goes unposted that we be doing, but I really love community engagement. Yesterday we just did a performance at PS7, which is my elementary school that I started school at, and one of the performers who performed with us had said something that, and shout out to Josh P. He going crazy with over hundreds, thousands of views on the internet. But yeah, one of the things he has said is he really appreciates my authenticity and my ability to connect with the audience. And I feel like that's something that for the most part, people that work with me, they kind of always have like a general good appreciation and warmth for me, and just how I come across in my demeanor and stuff like that. So in me trying to like working through nerves and all that as a performer, I'm like, people just love me for me and appreciate me for me. Why wouldn't they appreciate that from me and my artistry as well? So I just try to just be myself and my art. And when it comes to the internet, I'm not the best at promoting and posting stuff consistently on the internet, because I really don't be liking to post on the internet like that. I like to just do what I'm doing, but that's the name of the game that we in right now. So I'm working on it, and we are posting more consistently
Okay.
But I would say that just trying to post more consistently, doing what we're doing, and in terms of building something on it, trying to come as best way as possible with the strategy and your intention of posting.
Okay.
And yeah, I'll say that.
Okay. Last question, Xzavion. It's been such a pleasure to have you on. Looking back on yourself, what piece of advice would you give your younger self if you were starting out as a CNA?
If I was starting out as a CNA, what piece of advice would I give my younger self? I would say,
be honest.
nah, cause I'm thinking about it. Cause I'm like, I try to, as I knew I was leaving, becoming a CNA, I pretty much was like very intentional about just trying to be present and knowing that my days were numbered. So I feel like everything I would have told myself, I kind of told myself. But okay, I'll say this. So I'll say, I'll say try to document as much as I or you can, or as much as I could, just about things that I was learning from each encounter, because you get to meet so many different people, from military, war veterans. Thank y'all for y'all service. From just older people who have lived life. For the most part, I took from notable conversations. I always took notes from them. But again, with the posting on the internet, our platform, I probably would have, if I could go back, I probably would have posted some of that stuff that I learned, maybe like, throughout the years on YouTube, so we can sit there and watch, and other people, as some of those notes probably got lost in my phone by now, you can just go back to them on the video and just press play. So I said document those things, but also further than that, just try to ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions if you are working it or becoming a CNA. I'll say, don't be afraid to ask questions, and just, because you never know who you'll talk to. And just keep an open mind, and just try to listen, and as much as you can, try to learn something new every day and apply it to your life. That's what I'll say.
I love that. I love that feedback, that closure. I just want to add to that, because I'm an educator and I teach a lot of new nurses. A lot of my new nurses that I'm coaching, they are now attending online programs that they have available. But they don't have a lot of clinical skills. So they often call me, hey Nina, I'm doing this with the patient, what do I do? And that's fine. I will definitely walk them through. But just, I want to emphasize, I can't emphasize enough for, like Xzavion said, ask questions. If you're a new nurse and you have, or even no matter how long you've been a nurse, it's new devices coming out. There's new IV pumps, new PEG tube feedings, all kind of stuff. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. I YouTube a lot of the things that I don't know, and then I'm teaching people how to use them. Some of the stuff I'm ordering and I'm practicing with it. If you have a question and it's something you don't know, please don't hesitate. Ask somebody. Somebody's always willing to answer a question or give you some feedback. Call a friend, whatever you need to do. Don't ever assume something. Definitely reach out, ask questions. Don't be scared to ask questions. You don't look stupid. You don't look ignorant. It's okay. Please ask questions, because that's always the safest thing to do, okay? There's a lot of students now, they're scared to ask people for help. And I don't know what kind of environment we're creating now, but the way of nursing, the way that it has been is changing a lot. So I just want to put that out there. Definitely, you guys ask questions. All right, Xzavion, thank you. Any words of wisdom, last things you want to share with our viewers? Most of our viewers will be CNAs, LVNs, RNs, nursing students, veterans, come on in, healthcare professionals, or anybody else that's interested in needing nurses in our school and what we do, and share our mission and our passion, looking for some of that spiritual advice or anything. Any last things you want to share with them?
Yeah, I'll just say, you can do it. In the previous, if y'all already seen the introduction video, and seen me, Xzavion Stevenson on the introduction, video for the class. I talked about, understanding your why and your reasoning as to why you're even here in the first place, and just really just trusting in yourself and trusting in God, and that God is going to carry you through it all. But remember, you still got your own part that you got to do, which requires, some muscle and some resilience and faith and trust, and all of that, goes into it. But at the end of the day, you can only do what you can do, which is your best, and give your all that you got capacities to offer, and trusting that God got you. He gonna carry you. Just like I understood that this chair would, I sat on this chair and it held my weight. No matter what you're doing or where you're going, God, you can lean back and trust that God gonna carry you and your way too, and everything that comes with you. So just understand what you want and what you're going, whether it's this CNA to LVN program or LVN to RN program or RN to a physician, your master's, all that, everything that you want to do, all that, everything that you have that you feel good about, that you have in store with you, you can do it, and we believe in you.
Yes.
And self belief and self love is required as well. First and foremost, before anybody can believe in you, anybody can love you properly, you gotta believe in you and love you properly, and give it to God. So just remember where you're rooted in, and that you can do it, and just do the work, and just keep going. And we're gonna see you on the other side, because we all on the same mission. We're just trying to get to the other side. But for right now, we're just taking it day by day, and just gonna be grateful for even the opportunity to have a day. And just want to give our all to it, and just love the journey for real. So that's all I got. Thank y'all for watching.
We thank you, Xzavion, for joining us. Thank you, guys. Please continue to watch. We try to bring you a live podcast every week, once a week, okay? Thank you guys for joining us at Nina Nurses After Dark. See you guys next week. Bye. Thank you.